Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester, and my name is Junior, and we are going to review Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified Series 112 scale. This is the Cobra, Ghost Viper, and Dire Beasts. This came onto this almost too late, and I only pre-ordered one of this, which I think is kind of a mistake because I'm looking at this right now and it's this face that's really getting to me that I really want to get, but this is $55, so we'll have to check and see. $55, my God. Let me go ahead and open it up and we'll talk about it some more. All right, so there it is out of packaging, and as you can see, there is a lot of stuff going on with this one. Well, let's take a look at this really quickly. There's the head. Really nice map on the black over here. Interesting. Nice. Oh, this is originally a see-through. Sorry. This is originally a see-through cast, and then they painted it up. It's actually a lot more paint application that I'm used to with the Joes, I think. It's the holster right there. That's good. Some sprue marks. Alright, so that's the main figure, and next thing we'll take a look at is this helmet, which I freaking love. Wait, and the inside. So they cast it again in some sort of transparent, translucent plastic, and then they painted out the outside. I think that's what they did. Yeah, because you can see the bleed through in the black over there. So this whole thing is painted up, which is more impressive. That's the second option for the head. Just pop out, you see? Yeah, they made this one. And we'll put this back, put in this one. And actually, you know what? That does not fit it more than I thought it would, because the color palette that they use in the body, I feel like it should have been more darker to make that fit. These are the animal heads. Oh my gosh, look at the detail on that one. Again, paint cast in that transparent, translucent green plastic, and then they painted on the detail. So this actually has a lot more paint application than what we're used to seeing with G.I. Joe Classifieds. There's one of the just basic wolf style. And this is the Cobra snake head. Oh my gosh, look at that. And here's the wolf. I think this is just basically a recast of Timber. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I could be. I could pull out my Timber, which is right behind me, but articulation. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Timber. So now this will be just the basic accessories. Like we've seen this before. At least for these three, they did transparent, translucent, and then they painted black, and then this is probably solid. Yeah, you can see the differences in terms of the black. An actual Cobra. The guns, which is nothing in particularly that's impressive because we've seen these before. These are just basic plastic. Oh, thank goodness that's not removable. Not removable. Let's see if we can get this part right here. That's kind of interesting. Very nice detail. Basic plastic. Oh, I thought it was his fire effects, but then I see the skull in the back. Is this, it plugs into something? Maybe to this one? No, it doesn't plug into this one, doesn't have a hole. Probably plugs into this one. Oh my god. Has this, but this doesn't really fit anything. It doesn't fit here. It probably fits here, but why would you cover up that nice skeletal face? This is probably the hose that attaches to the back here. I think this is the same one that we saw on Barbecue. I can't remember his name. These are also very interesting hand, spectral hand, and it's got articulation once you plug it in. Yeah, very interesting. So articulation wise, we can see the usual articulation on the Joes. This is a vest that's, you know, it's not removable, but it's there. Butterfly joints that allows you to do that much of a movement. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows, which will give you all the range that you need in terms of articulation. This used to be for a hologram that the Techno Viper used, but there's no hologram that I can see that attaches to that. This is a separate piece. The arm, the hand goes in and out, as you can see, and twists all around. Same thing on this side. The joints are almost loose, but I kind of like it. I like the fact that it's easy to move. And there's the butterfly joints, as you can see. I'm sure the torso on this one is one of those hard cuts, which I like, but obviously it's kind of made useless by the vest. It does have a bowl cut on the hips, so you can move that around and use that. Again, if they were able to separate this, that would have been nice as an extra play factor. The belt is separate, so that's good. I prefer it that way. Actually, let me go ahead and put on the gun in the holster. That's pretty cool. Drop down on the hip to leg connection, gives you more than 90. Does have a thigh cut and double jointed on the knees. Ooh, I'm not gonna force the bottom one there. Well, there it goes. And a boot cut. The ankle joint goes down that far, goes up that high, and it has an ankle rocker. So let me do the value and the base price. 10 equaling to $55 or at least $55 when I got it on Walmart. I looked on the Hasbro Pulse, it's $63, and I had to buy one because honestly, this face is what I was really going for. I feel like that really looks cool. Let me replay some of the hands while I talk about value. I think we used to pay like $35 for these, right? The deluxe ones, because this is basically deluxe. Now, there's a lot of stuff here that I really like that I feel is slightly above deluxe. I mean, the fact that it's cast out in translucent plastic and they have to paint it up, which basically means that there's a lot more paint application in this one. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're doing all that effort to really bring out a really striking figure, as you can see. And this is not a reuse. That's a new one. This is generic. This is generic. That's generic. This is not a reuse. That's a new one. There's 2 heads, and then 3 animal heads, and then this fire effect, which is, there's a lot of stuff here that I didn't anticipate was coming that I'm pleasantly surprised with. But is it enough to increase the value when you're talking about $55? $55 is basically half of 100, right? That's 5% of $1,000. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the monetary value now, and I can't help it. $50 or $55 for this one. When I do comparisons, I think of like, that's 5 spools of filament that I can buy, or that's let's see, about 1/12 of a Carbon Centauri Elegoo printer, which is like $300. No, that's not even. That is actually 1/6 of a Centauri. There's a lot more that I can purchase, and it would go a long way with $55 for one figure. And this one figure, honestly, is something that I would have loved to have gotten 4, maybe 6, maybe 10. But 10 of these would be $550, and that's not possible at this point, not at this price range. And it's kind of like, it's a good figure. I wish I could have gotten more, but I'm not willing to spend $55 each on this, and it's just way too much. And I appreciate what we're getting and the idea behind it. I wish I could afford more of this, but I'm not willing to spend. The fact that I even bought one is a testament to how attractive this figure is to me, and I still like it, even though I mean, $55. I'm gonna give it an 11. No, I'll give it a 12. I'll give it a 12 because I'm really quite satisfied with what we're getting. There's no way I'm gonna get another one for $55. If it was like 35, I probably would have gotten maybe 3 more because it's so good. But $55 is just a lot now. I just can't. I mean, I'm now expanding to, and this won't apply to you guys, whoever's listening out there. I'm now expanding into, because I've done 3D printing, I'm expanding into 3D designs. Things that could make my 3D design easier to do. Like, for example, if I find something like this as a generic model, and then another one with just a generic figure, I can copy and paste and hold things out. I'm not sure if I'm using the right terms. I can combine 2 files to create a file that's unique to what I want to do. My imaginative process allows me to think outside the box instead of just doing or doing things basically from scratch, you know, to make things easier for me. But yeah, unfortunately, I am getting priced out of this hobby. I really am. I just can't justify paying multiples of this, buying multiples of this, and I think, um, yeah, unfortunately, but for what it is, it's really a really, really good, solid figure. I just don't think $55 is a sustainable price for something like this. Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff. It's hard for me to say it, but it's just, what can I say? It's just just the way it is. Um, it's I really wish I could afford more of this. But the other thing too that I would comment on is the choice of colors. The gray still can work. I would have stuck to the colors that they've established on the helmet: black, gray, ghoulish green, and this almost, what do you call this? The glow in the dark green. Almost. It's not, but it almost feels like it. I feel like you're supposed to take these so you can put this on more properly. Yeah. Look. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't follow where Hasbro's going. Hopefully, you guys can afford it more and enjoy it more, but I just can't go there. That's it for my review of the Ghost Viper from Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified and Dire Beasts. I'm gonna give it a value of 12, but almost grudgingly because of the price. The price is just way too much now for me. I really do feel as if my collecting days are coming to an end because of the price increases. It's just not sustainable for me as a collector. Um, so I'll like something like this. I'll buy one just to have something represented in my collection. But even with that, it's like, it's so painful for me. $55, where that's like 2 figures. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next review. Bye.